alongside Des Corkill. It's all set up beautifully on this circuit, which is a skating rink, but these are skilled races at 600cc.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of positions sorted out on turn 4 and in the technical section from 5 round to 9.
Let's have a look at what happened yesterday in race number 1 to give us the situation where we have Andy Farid Azdeha chasing Helmi Asman. Helmi was the championship leader going into the round, but he would have a difficult time, the number 32 seconds behind, and at the front, number 27, Andy Farid Azdeha from Astra Honda Racing, who's in a decent vein of form. He won in race 1 in Sepang and then had a disappointing P15, but he would go on to win race 1 here. But he had to work hard for it because Ratapong was in the mood, Chip Nakarin was in the mood, Azroy Hakim was looking strong for a long time.
Yeah, it was really a strong performance from Andy and very well timed. Helmi, who started from 10th compared to Andy Farid's 2nd on the grid, he looked a little bit out of sorts, could be the pressure, but he came in with a 32-point lead to race 1. He came out of race 1 with a 14-point lead over Andy Farid Azdeha, and there are a lot of very fast riders in the mix here. There is one of them, Ratapong Willarot, finished.
Well, he was eased out, wasn't he? Because he was in the top 3 and he was just eased out into 5th place in the end. But he was certainly looking back to the Ratapong Willarot that we know, the former Thai champion, at his best in the Yamaha. He knows this circuit very well. But it was around about this time that Chip Nakarin was beginning to make his move as well. The number 41, he's had a really good season. A couple of podiums and 5 4th places means that he could be a genuine spoiler today for anybody who's chasing Helmi Asman at the top.
Yes, he could, and like we were saying, there are plenty of spoilers here. Andy Farid going through there, and there is the big spoiler. That was Irfan Ardiansya shaking things up at the end.
It was a bit naughty. He took Ratapong out of the race, but Andy Farid Azdeha, his win means that he's just 14 points behind coming into the last race of the season. And let's immediately go down to the grid where Daniel Bogers is on the grid. Actually, I don't think we can go down to him.
What I was going to say was, we're just looking in the middle of the screen there at Irfan. He has a ride-through penalty for this race.
For that manoeuvre on the last corner.
As punishment for that last corner move.
Oh, right. We've got more drama. Did we expect anything less?
So Kritchaporn and Nakarin there being pushed onto the grid. There are the Chip Nakarin supporters. Nakarin Natirapuvapat, known throughout Thailand as Chip. There they are.
What a coincidence, they're all wearing the same t-shirts.
Yeah, decent turnout in the grand. It's a big grandstand today, but there are a fair few people up there in these damp, windy conditions.
Okay, this time I think we have got a connection sorted out with Daniel. And let's go down to get his thoughts and the riders' thoughts ahead of this 600 Supersport 600.
We're down here now at the grid for the Supersport 600, and once again, a different condition. It's still wet, the track still has standing water, but the rain has stopped, the wind as well has decided to be a bit calmer. So different conditions, but we're going to talk to one of the local riders, a rider who still has his championship hopes alive, however, only with 23 points between him and the champion. Can he make it? It's all down to circumstance and what will happen. So Nakarin, this is the final race and the final opportunity for you to get the championship. How do you feel in these conditions?
Yeah, for the final race, I give everything 100% for the best result for Thai fan, and I don't thinking too much about the point. Just go in front and try to win.
I can see you got your fan base over here, all your fans supporting you. All right, thank you so much. Good luck for the race. All right, now we're gonna go next to Nakarin, to a rider who was riding his heart out, none other than Irfan Ardiansya. Trying to get a word, Irfan. Irfan, so yesterday was a great performance for you, but this time, do you think you'll be able to keep up the pressure and help your teammate with the right through penalty?
Yes, maybe will be difficult, but we try to penalty. But yeah, this is wet and anything can happen, and I will try to come back on the top.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Good luck for the race. And now we're just gonna head to the next row, to the rider who finished third on the podium. And he's always looking calm, he's always looking chill. It's Azroy Hakim Anwar. So Azroy, so sorry to disturb you, but I want to ask you, the final round, your teammates are in the championship. Is it time for Azroy to win or time for Azroy to help Helmi?
For sure, everybody want to win. For me, of course I want to win, but I will look about how this race goes. If Andy in the front, I have to pass Andy and maybe help Helmi, so Helmi can fight for the champion.
All right, thank you so much, Azroy. Good luck for the race. It's back to you, Des and Barry, in the commentary box.
And as we heard, Des, Azroy wants to win, and he thinks he can help Helmi win the championship by winning in front of Andy Farid.
Well, Helmi, to help himself, fourth place will be enough. The 14-point lead means that even if Andy Farid Izdihar wins fourth place, and the 13 points that accrue with that would be enough, fifth place, he'd lose on the countback.
Yeah, and another countback. Save us. Krichapurn Kausonti looking very good all weekend. I think he'll perhaps improve from his fourth place yesterday. Andy Farid Izdihar. Experienced, skillful rider. He's good in the wet, he's good in any conditions, he always gives 100%. He's going to be hard to beat today.
In a 10-race season, though, he's had two really tough times. One at Sugo when he finished P14, one at Sepang P15 and a P12 in Buram. Too many slow or low-scoring points on those days. And same for Ratapong Gwilarat. I'm thrilled to see Ratapong back. He's not been fit for much of the season. Injured arms, injured shoulders, injured hands. Now it's a big smile on his face.
Yeah, he is a much happier rider this weekend. It's good to see him back on form. It's Mr. Zamani.
That's SIC Racing alongside one of my favourite racers, Ibrahim Noradin, who has made a habit of coming through late on in races so far this season. Perhaps hasn't got the results that he'd like. He's still a very creditable sixth in the championship standings, and he's fifth, sorry, and he's got himself a win and 3 podiums, but 2 did not start since Sugo really hurt his title hopes. And Karolidin Pawi, a superstar, and this is a fabulous field, this 600s. This is a great field.
It is, absolutely, and he's struggled this season. Warm up this morning, he was third fastest, so also looking good.
He's looking very relaxed there as well, Karolidin Pawi. I've not seen him look as relaxed as that for a little while. Alongside him, his Bunshu Honda teammate, we have got Azroy Hakim Anwar in P8. Again, he and Helmi are like brothers. They're like Abiwat and Anupab for Yamaha in the 1000s. They are together all the time. And then on P9, Galang Hendra another potential spoiler.
Especially in the wet. This would favour a rider of his quality too. Standing up there is, I think we're looking at Helmi.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at Helmi. A more tense looking Helmi than we've seen for most of the season. I do believe he's feeling the pressure. He knows what he's got to do.
2 wins, 2 second places, 2 thirds and a fourth. A fifth today. If Andy Farid Izdihar wins, would not be good enough. He needs a top 4 position to be certain.
He's shown some strength of character coming back from adversity, as he did in Sugo, to get a good race 2 result. But under pressure today. And there is Pirapong Boonlert, the 2019 runaway champion.
He was, wasn't he?
He knows this circuit. He's good in the wet. Let's see what happens.
Pirapong is down in P11, next to him P12. Kanatat Jaiman, another quick local Thai wild card. Does well competes in the Brick Championships and did pretty well, I think, in the Superstock 1000 last season, Kanatat.
Yeah, he's a good rider. He had a couple of crashes, a couple of big crashes. But who knows? Hopefully he'll put it all together today. So we drag the cameraman back to the grid.
Ramdan Rosley, Kritapat Kyangkum, Fairozi Turakatula from Indonesia, Kito Arrc, Chanon Inter, and Chang Chi-ying are the other 6 on the grid. You must have the lights on. It is still, I'll be interested to see if anyone, are they all on wet weathers? We were hearing from Dan Bogas that there's, it's drying, but we can still see some water towards the tail end of that corner, number 12.
It's too early to gamble on slicks. 1 minute to go. Another rider, we didn't look at him on the grid, but I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes in the wet, is Kito Arrc, the newcomer to the 1XOX TKKR team.
Dead right, 16th. We're just about to get tyre information, and this could be revealing. The Dunlop crews have been very good in providing us information. All riders are using rain tyres. That means Critchapon on pole for Honda Racing Thailand alongside Andy Farad Izdahar, who needs a win, and Ratapong Willarat, who would love to get a podium.
Chip Nakarin, great in the wet. Leads row 2, P4, P5. Irfan Ardiancia has to have a ride-through penalty. Ibrahim Noureddin got a bad start yesterday.
Third row of the grid, we've got Karel Idampawi, Kip as they call him, and Azroy Hakim Anwar, both Bunshu Honda Racing, alongside Galang Hendra Pratama. We've not seen the best of Galang Hendra on the Yamaha Racing Indonesia bike this season. Championship
leader leads row 4, Helmi Asman from Pirapong Bunala, the 2019 champion, and his wildcard teammate, Kanatat Jamin.
And then on the 5th row, Ramdan Rosley in the 600s. He's had a tough time so far. Ramdan from 1XOX TKR Racing Team. Kritipat from Yamaha High Speed, and Fairozi, who I like very much, but he's on a bigger bike and learning throughout the season.
Kito Arrc starting from row 6 alongside Shannon, who's in for Kurt Kiao, and on the outside, Ying Chang Chi from Taiwan.
Abut High Speed Racing. So there's plenty of spoilers in here. This is by no means a certainty for Helmi Asman. He's good enough to secure 4th place, absolutely. He's good enough to secure a podium place, as he has on 6 previous occasions so far this season in 9 races. So Helmi has had a terrific season, no matter what happens here. But to lose a championship lead on the final day would not go down well on his CV.
Yeah, that's still a 14-point lead that he's holding as of now. So we'll be doing the calculations through this race, but more spoilers than usual, including Pirapong Bunla.
I was going to say, let's look at the riders to look out for as a danger. But it's a whole flipping lot of them. You've got Azroy Hakim and Ibrahim Noureddin, who I think is a really terrific racer. Karel Idampawi, Irfan, although he's got the ride-through penalty, is a problem. Galang Hendra, we've certainly not seen the best of Galang, but he has had a P5 to his name and a couple of P6s already. And you're quite right, Arrc, Kito Arrc is a terrific racer out of Japan.
Yeah, I can see Ibrahim coming on to the podium this time. I really can, Des. I don't know why, but I just can. Well, because he's a quality rider, but I can just feel it in the breeze.
There he is on the outside left of that shot in the yellow helmet. Ibrahim Noureddin, bike number 66. But Andy Farad is the man we really need to look for. If he gets a victory, then the whole season changes. Oh, Chip Nakarin.
Great start from Kausanti. Sorry, Des.
And Ratapong Willarat's not bad either. Ratapong Willarat is the man who will be leading into the first corner. Behind them, oh, somebody's going backwards at a rate of knots. And you just look, if you're Bunshu Honda, is it Helmi Asman? The answer is no, because Helmi's bright number 32 is shining through the spray, happily positioned in P7 or P8 as they come into the hairpin.
That's Irfan, who has a ride-through penalty to do, who led on the way up to turn 3, but that's Critchapon, who's gone past him. Ratapong behind him. Andy Farid behind him, wiping away his visor. You can see how much spray these wet weather tyres on these bigger engine bikes kick up. It's really difficult to see, hence the lights on.
They scream into the left-hand sequence. 35 Critchapon has just been eased into P2 at the moment. Ratapong Guillerot in the easy to distinguish blue. He's being trailed there by Andy Farid is the heart. Andy Farid is the man who is got the most chance of taking the title. Theoretically, Chip Nakarin has as well, but he would need both Andy Farid and Helmi Asman to have a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, Ratapong being dropped at the moment. Chip Nakarin's in front of him. Andy Farid's in front of him now as well.
Wet conditions, although they are drying, but everybody is on wet weather tyres. As Ratapong Guillerot, the local, in P5 at the moment, but the man leading the way is, well, Irfan Ardiansa. It's all a little bit academic though, because he's got a ride-through penalty that'll scupper any chances he's got of winning. He looks back and he says to Andy Farid, "Are you with me, fella? I'm setting a pace for you here. You've got to stick alongside me."
Yeah, but the one trying to keep up with him is Krichapong Kausonti, the newcomer to this class this year, and his teammate Chip Nakarin just behind him. So that's not quite going to plan, but good work by Irfan.
Honda Racing Thailand looking pretty good. Although they're in the red, they've got the black numbering, or the black fronts with the white numbering. Andy Farid just behind him, and Ratapong is struggling just to keep up, as going very wide there was Chip Nakarin. Gets a drive out. But this is very, very good from Irfan Ardiansa. It's all a bit academic though for Irfan.
Yeah, I think he is there as the early pace setter for Andy Farid. And he's moved up and he twitches there as they exit turn 4. But keeps it, didn't think he lost any time there.
We need to think now though about Helmi Asman. 1, 2, 3, 4 go through. Helmi Asman, I can tell you, is in P8 at the moment, behind some good racers, Pitapong and Azroy Hakim. Indeed, he's just been overtaken by Chanon Inter. We're focusing on the front just at the moment, but we ought to keep an eye out soon on Helmi Asman. Chip Nakarin, looking good.
You talk about the rain as an equaliser. Chanon Inter moving ahead of Helmi Asman is a prime example of that. We haven't seen him before in this series. He's a replacement rider
from the East NJT
gal.
Racing Team, yeah, as Andy Farid goes on the inside of Krichapong. And Andy Farid looks quite secure there. That's quite nice. He'll be happy with P2. Irfan leads. There's the pace setting. And this could be team tactics. This could be very effective team tactics. Irfan maybe giving up a place or a position to take Andy Farid as long and deep into this race as he possibly can.
The thing you want in wet conditions is to have somebody in front of you, because you never quite know what conditions are how conditions are going to change. The front rider will be the first to discover that, often to their cost. So this is brilliant tactics by Astra Honda. So Irfan Ardiansa streaking away at the front, and Andy Farid maybe a second behind him in the de facto P1.
He is a de facto P1, which means that the pressure really is on Helmi Asman, because he needs a P4 if Andy Farid Izdihar has that P1. He can be as low as P9 if Andy Farid doesn't get P1 and only gets P2. But he needs P4 at the moment, because this big lead for Irfan Ardiansa will disappear.
And Krichapong still leading Chip Nakarin in the mini tussle between the two Thai Hondas.
Helmi's got himself up into P7 ahead of Chanon Inter. Azroy Hakim has dropped down to P9. Galang Hendra not far behind in P10. The middle of this group is fascinating. But there's the de facto leader. Does Irfan stay out? The answer is no, he's gone in for his ride-through penalty. So a ride-through penalty being served by Irfan Ardiansa, but he's done the pace setting for Andy Farid. Go on, Andy, take it home from here.
That's it. The baton has been passed, and that's Pirapong Boonla. Oh, and who have we got off here?
It's Irfan Ardiansa, so it wasn't a ride-through. He disappeared off, not to ride through the penalty. Maybe he slipped through on that final corner, corner 12.
That's what I was saying about the man at the front will always discover how the conditions are changing. That's just what happened, but that was part of that plan. Not for him to fall off, but it's better. And Shannon Inter up into 6th place behind Pierpont Boonlert. So wild cards and unfamiliar riders, Shannon Inter on the privateer EAST machine.
So Boonshu Honda will be hoping that the Thai Honda racing team can really do them a favour. They'll want Chip Nakarin and Critchapon to get closer to Andy Farid Izdahar. Right, problem for Azroy Hakim Anwar.
Yeah, he's in the pits. He was languishing in the middle of the field. Now he's come in. Perhaps a problem for Azroy as he looks down.
That's his race over. That's his season over, effectively,
Yeah,
Azroy Hakim.
Yeah, he's had a tumble.
Good season for Azroy. 5 podiums, 1 win, 2/3, and yeah, there's a fair amount of damage there.
And that's from 8 starts because he missed round 1.
He did indeed. He was one of those quarantine sufferers. So Andy Farid, that doesn't make things any easier for Helmi Asman. Helmi, if Andy Farid is here, Helmi must get up into P4. If Andy Farid is overtaken by Chip Nakarin or Critchapon or Ratapong, which is a possibility with 8 laps to go.
It is a possibility, sorry Des, but Nakarin is very good in the wet.
We saw Helmi going through there. Galang Hendra chasing him. Galang Hendra in P8 at the moment. He's the man chasing Helmi Asman coming out of the spray. Bike number 32, Helmi Asman at the moment will not win the championship if this race was called now.
He's pushing though, Helmi. He's looking more confident on the bike. He's got a privateer in front of him, which shouldn't be in the script. And he's got the 2019 champion in front of him, running as a wild card on another privateer bike. So there is something not quite right with this picture. Helmi Asman needs to sort it out.
Oh, there was a twitch there for bike number 98 on Pirapong Boonlert. And that enables Helmi to maybe get close to the 2019 champion. Bizarrely, the defending champion. Thank you, COVID.
Yeah, what a part the plague has had in this championship. But in the close season, we can do those counterfactuals. Des, not now. We've got too many calculations to make. But this is looking much more confident from Helmi. He's just focused on this battle with Pirapong for now, and that's maybe just taking the pressure out of his mind.
Quite right. He's a racer, is this fella, and he loves to be involved. I keep talking about him and Azroy Hakim. They're always going toe-to-toe. Azroy won't be going toe-to-toe with anyone today. He will try and come out and pick up some points, but you're quite right. Helmi Asman loves to be racing, and he's racing against Pirapong at the moment. That's damage. That's not good.
My feeling about Ibrahim appears to have let me down. He's currently down in P11 and definitely leaving it too late. This is an impressive ride by Shannon Inter.
Shannon representing the East NJT racing team. There's a wild card here. He got a P14 yesterday, up at the front though. Okay, Ratapong has made a move back on Critchapon. And that's not good news for if you're in the Boonshu Honda camp, because it means that the Honda Racing Thailand team aren't at full pace. The Yamahas has gone past 1, and he's got Chip Nakarin in his sights as well. Andy Farid Izdahar looking for back-to-back wins, looking for a 4th win of the season.
And just as an observation, Des, when Andy Farid has had bad finishes or thrown it down the road, which he has a couple of times, it's been in race 2.
He has. Is that a prediction?
No, but it's something he pointed out to me in the Thursday press conference. So thank you, Andy Farid.
Well, he'll be hoping that that is not the case here.
I sincerely hope he doesn't have any misfortune today.
Indeed, that's struck him on 2 occasions so far this season. Race 2, a P14 and a P15. But here, he is in P1. All he can do is win. His last lap, a 1:49.4. He's regularly inside 1:49.5. Look at Helmi Asman, 1:50.8. He's a second plus a lap quicker than Helmi Asman. Helmi in bike 32 in 7th, championship leader. His title is hanging by a thread, you know.
Yeah, and Ratapong moves ahead of Chip Nakarin into P2. And Krichapon holding on well. You could have expected him to fade a little bit as Arrc comes back just for an end-of-year run-out on the Honda CBR 600 RR. So watching again, Helmi
Asman, 2 wins, 2 seconds, 2 thirds in the season, and it might not be enough to take him the title. Has Ratapong Guilaroc got enough? It's nearly 2 seconds the differential between Andy Farid Izdahar and Ratapong Guilarat, and wet tyres will equalise things. 2 seconds is a huge amount to make up in the last 6 laps of a race.
I'd be surprised if Andy gave that up, knowing his quality, his experience. We're talking about Ratapong's experience, but Andy Farid, my goodness, he's a top quality rider.
All he could do coming into this final weekend was win both races and hope that Helmi didn't perform to the top of his abilities, and he won race 1 yesterday, Andy Farid. He's looking good for race 2 here. That would be 3 wins out of 4 at Buriram. He was 2nd at Sepang, 2nd in Sugo, won at Sepang 2nd time round.
Hugely popular racer, Andy Farid, of course, back home. And if we could see it, I'm sure the live stream comments are lighting up on YouTube and Facebook right now.
Indeed, indeed. Andy Farid looking very, very good. He comes into the notorious corner 12. It's only notorious if there's people around you. Now he's looking good. The pit crew are giving him good news. Andy, my son, with 5 laps to go, you are leading by 2.37 seconds. This is yours to lose. I'm looking at Helmi Asman. Pirapong comes through. Now Helmi comes through. But P5 would not be good enough for Helmi Asman. He needs P4. He needs something to happen to one of the riders chasing behind Andy Farid.
That's Chip Nakarin getting well out of shape, but recovering. He's also very good at that.
Barry Russell with an intimate knowledge, particularly of the Thai races. He's been on the scene here in Thailand for so long, but Andy Farid he's racing away literally with this one. Looking very, very secure, looking smooth, leaning nicely into the corners as the weather conditions have eased just in time for him.
Yeah, Helmi's got a good chance, which he should take, of getting ahead of Pirapong.
But it wouldn't be enough, you know. It'd then be in the lap of the racing gods. Andy Farid, all he can do, focus on a 50-point weekend and then see where everything else falls.
Helmi has just moved ahead of Pirapong, but Krichapon is a long way distant in front of him.
What I can tell you is, at the moment, Helmi Asman, 158 points. Andy Farid Izdahar, 158 points. Another count back would be deciding another Arrc championship. It is the most competitive championship I can recall in world racing, in world road racing at all. It's still not over yet, though. The gap is come down quite a bit there from Ratapong. 1.5. Ratapong just put in a 1:48.6. No, what was his last lap? A 1:48.6.
1:48. Yeah, he was the fastest last time around, Ratapong.
8 tenths quicker. He's caught 8 tenths up on Andy Farid. Helmi up into P5, but a long way down on P4, who is Krichapon.
A long way down, and not on Krichapon's pace either. He's about half a second off it.
4 laps to go. Well, 3 full laps plus the remainder of this, as Andy Farid comes into the left-hander, the first left-handers. Tell you what, visually, Ratapong Guilarat is closing up on Andy Farid. This race is not over.
Yeah, they're coming into the technical section now, so let's see how close he can get as they go through turns 5 through to turn 11.
Track is drying up. That will mean that racers can just make a little bit more of a gamble as they go into the corner. Andy Farid still leads, but Ratapong Willerot is on a charge. A last lap, 148.6. Be interested to see what his lap time is this time round. 3.5 laps to go. Andy Farid, who's been leading, since lap 2, is now just beginning to come under a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, we're about to see as they cross the line what that difference is. Total concentration from Andy Farid.
It was 1.5 seconds last time out. This time, as Andy Farid goes over the start-finish line. Ratapong is inside a second. The race is on.
He's halved the differential on that last lap, and we have 3 laps to go.
So if Ratapong was able to take the win, then Helmi Asman P5 would be enough to take the title. Helmi is relying upon Ratapong Willerot to gift him the title.
Ratapong himself won the title here in dramatic fashion back in 2018 when Supersports was the premier class here, and now he's involved in another dramatic finish. We're looking at the battle now for P3 between Nakarin and Kritchapon.
That's a domestic dispute. Tell you what, Andy Farid Izdahar, I think, is aware of the challenge from Ratapong and has just focused a little bit more. But the pressure certainly is on as they come into this left-hander. Andy Farid with Ratapong. He's leading beautifully into those corners. He's looking fit for the first time this season, Ratapong Willerot.
Yeah, there was a little error on the entry to turn 5 by Andy Farid, as we just see the pit signals going out.
That's the Yamaha. It is okay. Go for it. Go for it. You've got nothing to lose, Ratapong Willerot. Everything to gain. But Andy Farid just seems to have pulled away a little bit. He's put the afterburners down and just accelerated away. And that gap was 0.89 of a second at the end of the last lap. Oh, great drama. Great drama. Okay. At the moment, the title belongs to Andy Farid on countback ahead of Helmi Asman. Helmi needs something magical.
And that's the current championship leader coming down towards turn 12. Andy Farid having a look behind.
Was that an anxious look back, or was it a...
Yeah, but he just stretched the gap a little bit. You were right, Des. He did pull something out on that lap. There's just less than 2 laps to go now.
Oh, this is bubbling up beautifully. Ratapong Willerot, he has the fate of the championship in his hands. If he can catch Andy Farid, Helmi's the champion. If he can't, Andy Farid is the champion. That is the equation as we come into the final 8 kilometers of Buriram.
And it was Ratapong who was fastest through sector 1. Now they're in sector 2.
A good 3/10 faster. And look, he's closed right up here. But this is where Andy Farid just seems to have it. And getting onto the back wheel is one thing, overtaking a completely different ball game if you are Ratapong Willerot.
And if it is going to happen, it probably is going to be last time around, Des, at the last turn.
Oh my word, it is building up, it is bubbling, bubbling, bubbling. Helmi Asman, P5.
Another great sector 2 for Ratapong.
Each time he's taken 2 or 3 tenths off Andy Farid Izdahar, and he takes the tighter line. Now he's possibly got a slipstream going into the final lap as they come into corner number 12 for the penultimate time. Andy Farid Izdahar late on the brakes. Ratapong Willerot, the local with the inside knowledge, he is right on his tail. We have got a shootout for the title into the last lap of the Supersport 600cc.
Fastest lap of the race by about half a second for Ratapong that time around as they get into this final lap on the run up to turn 3, the long run up to turn 3. Ratapong will have a look as they come up here.
Ratapong Willerot takes the lead, and with that the title possibly changes hands. Has he gone too early? Therein lies the question. Round the hairpin, Andy Farid tries the switchback, tries to go on the inside. Ratapong holds on. Hold on to your hats.
You can't overestimate what a difficult move that was by Ratapong to come through in those wet conditions and get ahead of Andy Farid and hold it. Now they go into this fast, furious turn 4.
Ratapong has the lead. Andy Farid needs to get into the lead. The title depends on these last couple of corners. They come into the left-handers, then the right-handers. Andy's got to make his move, Barry.
He's got to make his move. It's difficult just in this section to do it. It is going to come down to turn 12, Des.
Ratapong Willerot on the Yamaha. A last lap lead from Andy Farid. Has he taken the title away from the Indonesian, or has Andy Farid got something left in the tank? The right-hander, then the left-hander, and then we will come down to the final thrilling stages. Andy Farid prepares to get in position. This is it. This is the title on the line. Andy Farid on the inside. Farid into the lead. Is it the title? Ratapong goes narrow. Andy Farid has got the title on the final corner of the final lap of the season. Andy Farid takes it in sensational style, because Helmi Asman is in P5 and Helmi Asman will be level on points with Andy Farid, but will lose on the countback.
11 seconds, 12 seconds back on the winner. It was not good enough for Helmi Asman on the day where it mattered most. Heartbreak in the Bunsu Honda team. What a breathless, and it's hard enough for us, but imagine being in that team. There is Andy Farid. What is he feeling right now? Can he believe it?
How cool, how brave to leave his braking so late going into the final corner.
Nothing more Ratapong could have done there. He tried everything. He nearly lost it in his efforts, but Andy Farid stayed clean. He got the drive out of turn 12, and there it is in lights once again for the Supersport 600 champion. Andy Farid is Izdihar.
On a wins countback. For the third time today, we've given you a title at the end of 10 races, decided 2 on wins countback and 1 by a single point. Wow, just mad. And Ratapong Willerot, big kudos for Ratapong. This is the final corner. Barry Russell, talk us through it.
So Ratapong did come down. Andy Farid had a plan. He came onto the inside. He held it. He turned late. Didn't leave much room for Ratapong. Ratapong had to give way. And now the back steps out, and so he lost his drive. It was all for Andy Farid, who had time to wheelie across the line and take that victory by half a second. Oh, look at the Astra Honda pit.
Wow.
And I think I can fear the Andy Farid, the Andy Gilang fans cheering in Indonesia from here.
Wow, just amazing stuff. Congratulations, Andy Farid. 3 wins in the last 4 races have propelled him to the title. 4 wins in all. He started the season with a victory at Buriram. He's finished with the season at Buriram. Immense commiserations to Helmi Asman, losing the title on wins countback, but the champion Andy Farid knew exactly what he had to do. His pit wall kept him in touch with what he exactly had to do, and the result is a squealing into the Parc Ferme and a huge hug from his team.
Incredible ride by Andy Farid. Incredible teamwork by Astra Honda, looking back to earlier in the race.
What a magical series. What a magical.
Oh, and by the way, Krichaporn finished 3rd.
Oh, yeah.
Nakarin was 4th. Krichaporn did well to beat his highly rated, highly experienced teammate. And they were the riders that finished ahead of Helmi Asman. And the 2019 champion, Pirapong Boonlert, came in 6th place. 23 seconds adrift of Andy, but pretty good performance, coming in as a wildcard privateer.
For all the celebrations we're seeing with Astra Honda, and you can see the 250 guys there offering their congratulations to Andy Farid Izdihar real commiserations to Helmi Asman. Brilliant season from him, but there has to be a winner. And I think we can go down into the Parc Fermé and get some kind of reaction from the hard-working Daniel Bokas down in the Parc Fermé. His tea is there. It's great. And Ananta, his disappointment is put to one side.
Yeah, this is such a tight team, Des, the Astra Honda team. And Andy Farid is a real leader within it.
Yeah, congratulations, well done. We don't mind waiting for the interview.
Yeah, hold it high. It's done.
Only just.
By a, not even by a whisker, by a countback.
Andy Farid is the harp. Champion, Supersport 600 2022. I'm breathless, I am voiceless. And Daniel, please take over the reins.
So we're down here at Parc Fermé for the Supersport 600 race 2. None other than the champion of the 2022 season, Andy Farid. Andy, what a way to win the championship, and what a race that was at the end.
I don't know what to say. I just first I want to thank to my family, always support me until the end, and also all the Indonesia people, my team especially also that helped me always. This season I was up and down, but they always support me, give the best for me, and this is, I think they deserve this result, and thank you so much. I don't know what to say again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andy. Congratulations again.
Final race of the Supersport 600cc Championship at the Asia Road Racing Championship, Chang International Circuit. Irfan Ardiansa playing the role of pace setter for Andy Farid Izdihar, but the Hondas of Chip Nakarin and Kritchapon also setting the pace early on, with Ratapong Grilrat keeping nice and tight. The mathematics of this, Barry Russell, were that Andy Farid Izdihar had to win. Bike number 27 had to win, and then he had to hope that Helmi Asman, the championship leader, bike number 32, would finish 5th or worse.
Exactly right, and this was a good job by Irfan Ardiansia, and brilliant tactics, I have to say, by the Astra Honda team. This was a plan, and they executed it brilliantly. We keep talking about how tight this team is, and they really proved it again here. Ratapong dropped back early on, and then he managed to get ahead of the two Thai Hondas. Here is Helmi.
Helmi at this stage was running around about P5, 4 laps to go. He knew he couldn't get better than this, and so he was reliant upon Ratapong Willarat's chase of Andy Farid Izdihar, and Ratapong put in some fabulous fast times. Again, Helmi, he did as best as he could. P4 is what he needed. P5, he was fingers crossed that Ratapong would close in, and Ratapong did close in some fast laps and would eventually go and take the lead on the last lap to set up the most intense finale.
He really hunted him down, and here we go. He moved in front on the way up to turn 3. This was an incredibly well executed move. He just held it tight enough to stop Andy switching back on him, and he held the lead for almost the rest of the lap.
Final corner of the final race of the season, and this happens. Andy Farad has to hold it. Ratapong back end goes, loses the drive. Wheelie from the champion Andy Farad. You'd think he'd won it by a million miles. He's won it on countback, but he's won it because Helmi could only come in 5th. A brave effort in a terrific season for Helmi Asman, but it's only 2nd in the championship, and a champion for Andy Farad Izdar, Astra Honda Racing Indonesia.
He came into this weekend, he needed to win both races. That was his mission, and he did it. We don't see many double wins in the Asia Road Racing Championship. Let's not forget Krichapon, who comes to the podium now. Very good race for him, and a good achievement to beat his teammate Chip Nakarin.
And Andy Farad Izdar, well, he takes first place. A brilliant from Ratapong Willarot as Astra Honda Racing. This time it's a very happy Astra Honda Racing. What a race. Forget the overall championship. What a race in its own right.
It was a fantastic race. When Andy crossed the line, I wasn't sure whether he was just celebrating the victory, which was so well won, or whether he knew he'd won the championship.
Masanori Enomoto is the man handing out the prizes, the MD of Idemitsu Lubricant Asia Pacific.
In second place,
Our thanks to the sponsors. Of course, it's not a cheap sport, is motor racing, and particularly in these COVID-affected times. So the support of the manufacturers and the sponsors absolutely crucial to the continued success. To give us afternoons like this and to give us races like that, that's a world-class event we've just seen.
FIM Asia represented to present the team award for the Super Sport 600 class.
The team award being handed out by Tongchai Wongsawan from FIM Asia. And this is a much happier Astra Honda Racing team.
Yep, their day is done. Astra Honda.
Now we have Mr. Tanesri Chang, the Managing Director of Chang International Circuit, to present the trophy to the Astra Honda.
In fact, Tanesiri, the Managing Director of Chang International Circuit, has made his way up as well to hand out that award. Been a great venue. Even when it's raining, it's a great venue. Andy Farad ahead of Ratapong. The difference in the end, half a second. It seems like a convincing win. It was not. Ratapong chased him down over 3.5 laps, took the lead, and then was taken by a brave manoeuvre on the last corner, the notorious corner 12. Well done to Krichapon, who I've